Hi guys, good morning. So this is question 5. So far I'm expecting material on question 3 and 4. Let me just sort of get here. Let's do this. Right, yeah, question 3 and 4. But I'm just going to go on and talk about question 5, which I'm expecting the material, your answers at some point today. So let's see what's going on here. It says you have this company called Secure Waste Limited, and they manufacture and sell waste bins. And currently they sell the waste bins at selling price of $275, and they expect to sell 6,000 units. So that's the selling price. And these are the costs of making this thing. So here we are. This is material. So these are all variable costs, right? Variable costs or marginal costs as well. Skilled labor as well. Semi-skilled. So total variable costs, all variable costs here. All variable costs. So technically you could argue that for now this is the marginal cost, 166, and you're currently getting 275. So you could work out contribution. 166, sorry. So you could do this minus this and work out contribution. You should actually work out contribution. Again, every discussion you make when you do this thing, you always want to say, whenever you're going to be making decisions, that these decisions are short-term. Oops, there's no writing in there. That these decisions are short-term decisions. First of all, we can only do this because we probably would have covered our fixed costs. I mean, you could potentially look at break-even. I mean, break-even, once you do this minus this, and it tells you that these are your fixed overheads, you can calculate break-even. Break-even would have been 355, 400, of course, divided by 275 minus 166, right? Because that's what break-even is. Fixed cost divided by the contribution per unit. Okay, so you can do that as well. Now, what are they telling us here? They are telling us that you have received an inquiry for potential overseas customer. So again, straight away you're thinking, do we have the spare capacity to do this? We can only do this if we have the spare capacity, or if we have access to resources. You're thinking, about my current customers, I don't want to upset them. Will I be able to maintain those relationships with would I be able to keep up existing production and customer services with my other customers? So this is all pretty much key, because usually when you get this type of question, it means that the person is offering you something less than what you're currently selling it for. So it says here the customer wishes to place an order for 1,500 units if a total sales price of 330 is agreed for delivery within 4 months. So it says that this person is willing to pay in full, and you can just sort of see, I mean, you can see there's some advantages here. They're willing to pay you cash, or if you like, money in the bank straight away once you present your shipping and insurance documents. And this will cost you, if you like, there's another cost, if you like, associated with this order of 14,500. So, and it says here that if the potential overseas customer is satisfied, then future orders. So we can already see they're kind of telling us what are the, if you like, they're trying to give you a guide as to whether or not you should take this project on. And the sorts of things you would say would be like, yeah, sure, we should take this, because this goes on to say the directors of Secure Waste have been looking to develop overseas sales. So, I mean, here's a good reason to take on the project. You're looking to expand. Someone's saying, if you make the first order right, I'll happily put another order with you for 2,500 units. So you could do a rough, quick calculation of what the potential revenue, if you like, is per unit, which would be 330,000 divided by 1,500 units, right? I mean, it's rough because, let me just get my calculator quickly. Right. So 330,000 divided by 1,500. That's 220. So roughly, this person is offering me 220. So you can already see that the 220 definitely is less than the 275, but it's still greater than the 166. So you're thinking, yeah, sure. I mean, we can do this, because once we've covered our fixed costs, we know all we have to really do is focus on our variable. So, so that's kind of, you're already starting to come up with some kind of idea as to what's going on here. Then it tells you for the current year, I mean, this is an average. We still need to kind of do a proper breakdown. For the current year, it tells you, so I'm going to use a different color now just to kind of focus in so you can start to see what some of the thinking issues are. For the current year, sorry, it's not working. Why is that not working? Why? What's wrong with you? Color, purple. Okay, let's see. Oops. Let's come here. Right, let's go for that. So, for the current year, skilled labor. So let's see, up here it tells you skilled labor. You need some skilled labor. 2 hours at £20 an hour. Skilled labor is forecast to be underutilized. So let's explain this, what's going on here. And this is, you can only really find this by doing exam questions and see what's going on. It says the skilled labor is currently underutilized. So this means that there's a lot of, if you like, idle time where people are sitting around. You're paying them anyway, but they're just sitting around. So they're just sitting around doing nothing. So it's like being at work and not doing anything. If your worker suddenly gives you work, well, you're now doing something. He's not going to pay you more for that time. But they're basically telling you these people are just sitting around not doing very much by 550 hours. So they're telling you that it is intended to retain the skilled labor in the company and to continue paying them for the company's standard 35 hours a week. So that's not going to change. That's kind of there. But currently, these people are sitting there not doing anything in this 550 hours, if you like, underutilized. Right. So it says that any shortfall in skilled labor would be worked as overtime at a premium of £10 per hour, paid in addition to the hourly rate. So you're going to pay £10 plus what you're currently paying. You're currently paying £20. So if these guys, if your skilled labor were to do any overtime, you would have to pay them an extra £10. So here's the thing, here's the argument. There's currently 550 hours of them just sitting around not doing anything. If you take this order of 1,500 units, well, you will need, if you like, it tells you that you need 2 hours of skilled labor for every unit. And 2 hours, so you would need 3,000 hours, right, to make this thing. But it tells you these guys are currently, the only capacity you have right now, them not doing anything, is just 550. And you'll get them doing the work in this time. So it means that you will need to pay them for an extra 2,450 hours. I'll say that again. You need 3,000 hours to make the product. They're currently sitting around not doing anything. So you're going to make them do something during. So no more breaks, no more smoking breaks, no more just having a laugh. No work during that time. And then, because they're also doing overtime, you're going to pay them for the overtime. And you're going to pay them for the extra hours that they do, which is the 2,450. But of course, it says you're going to pay them 20 plus 10. Because you're making them work overtime. So you can see we're gradually working out what the costs are for taking on this project. We still need material C and material C and material D. We will need skilled labor, and this is the cost of the skilled labor. We will need, if you like, to pay them 2,450 hours. At £30, because 20% is 30. Then it says the wages of your non-production employees, here we are included within fixed overheads. Additional material and semi-skilled labor at current prices and rates are readily available. So you will need, of course, if you like, the cost of making these 1,500 is a variable cost, so you will still need to get semi-skilled labor. It's the normal 3 hours at £15. You want to make 1,500 units, so you will need 3 hours, so 1,500 times 3 hours for that. So let's just do a very quick kind of, let me just do it. I'm not going to do the final calculation, but I'll sort of show you how the layout would look. So what you would have is, if someone said to you, well, the question asks you, what's the profit on this order, if you like, should we accept this order in terms of from a financial point of view? Well, from a financial point of view, you're going to receive, if you like, 330. right, for this thing, which is based on 1,500 units. We already calculated the 220. That's what you're going to receive. So that's made up of 1,500 units times 220. We found some sort of average. So that's what you're going to get. Less the variable costs. So the variable costs, if you like, are 1,500 times 66, if you like, right? That's based on your material C, 66 per unit. Then you have 15. I'm taking the figures literally from the top there, so you can just look at that as well. 1,500 times 66, 1,500 times 15. I told you that your skilled labor, I told you that your skilled labor costs are 2,450 times 30, and you also need semi-skilled labor of 4,500 times 15 pounds. This 4,500, of course, is based on you needing 3 hours per unit. And if you're making 1,500, that's how you get that scenario there. Then, of course, you also have the cost of shipping, which is 14,500. So now you have all your costs, the variable costs, the skilled, semi-skilled, and the shipping, and take all that away from this revenue, and you should get a profit figure. So you're aiming for a profit figure on this order of 53,000. So that's where you're going. Right? Okay, great. Now, the question then goes on and asks you to look at the financial and the non-financial implications of this project. So let's just get some points down very quickly. Let me see if I can get it some more paper. That doesn't matter. I think I'll just come up here and just make some points here. So, like I said, in terms of financial, you are still making a contribution. Well, you're making this profit of 53,000. Making this profit of 53,000. That's definitely a financial. The guy is offering you another 2,500 units if you stay. Well, the problem, of course, that you have, right, is that well, again, if your current customers who are paying 275 find out, they might not be happy. They might not be happy, right? And so they might, think, if you like, that we want a discount as well. And that's something you have to deal with. This talks about, you should always talk about, this says you're going to be dealing abroad. So whenever you're talking about abroad, you want to talk about foreign exchange rates. So, you're having to receive money in foreign exchange and pay in foreign exchange and do different things. So the question is, you might actually have, because exchange rates can also change, this might affect your profit overall. And so really the good thing here at least is that this person is paying you straight away. So that's quite good. So that means that at least your trade receivables should come down, if you like. So that's quite good. And I guess the argument really is that if you're going to be accepting this order, you need to know if you can actually meet this order. Because remember, look at what's happened. You've had to pay this overtime, and this costs money as well. There are labor costs. The question really is, for how long do you have this spare capacity? So the truth is that your fixed costs will probably go up now, because you would have to make sure that you can actually cover the costs of making these extra units. You're going suddenly from producing 6,000 to someone's offering you another 2,500. So we're going closer and closer to this 9,000 limit. So quality and all that might be affected. Right. Also, I think it's also a bit tight. I mean, this person is asking you that he wants it within, he says that he wants it within 4 months. He says that, and it's agreed on delivery within 4 months and before your financial year. So the fact that he wants it before your financial year puts you quite a bit under a bit of pressure. So you need to make sure. So the question is, are you going to be taking staff away from other areas to fulfill this order? And so, I mean, in terms of non-financial, I guess it's really your employees. Are they happy? Will they be able to do this? Can you, as long as you're paying them, I imagine. So what we're really talking about is sort of things that are not financial. if you like. But this is good in a way. I mean, you're bringing business to the organization, but your fear again is your current customers. Those are the sorts of things. And quality, current customers. Can you adjust the selling price? Really, that's kind of the thing. But again, can you get your current skilled labor to keep on doing this over time, or are you going to have to look for other options? So, so really your layout should be financial implications, non-financial implications, and you should have a recommendation. And the recommendation, usually you should argue, well, based on the maths, why not? Let's take it. But then, of course, we have to start thinking about whether or not we can manage the process, whether or not we understand that we can't accept 220 forever. We need to increase this later on, and that sort of thing. So put that together and come up with your own ideas as well, and let me mark it. Please, I would like to see this by the end of today at some point. Okay, great stuff. Thank you.